Hi, this is Al Ken, and welcome back to my channel. We had some interesting development on the Nashville shooter. Apparently, a local newspaper in the area had ruffled some feathers, and the judge is angry at a reporter. I think it has something to do with the Nashville shooter's manifesto, and it seems like they're trying to bury this thing for whatever reason, because it doesn't fit the narrative and the optics and so on. But let's get to the story, see what the heck is going on. This is from the Federalist. Says judge put freedom of press on trial in Nashville trans shooters manifesto battle by M.D. Kit Kali. I don't know. Yes, it was so funny you had to laugh. Anyway, says editor Michael Patrick Lee. He says he will go to jail before revealing the source of the documents, and the judge may oblige. Yes, it's that funny. Michael Patrick Leary walked out of a Nashville courtroom Monday morning celebrating his freedom, at least for now. I am a free man and can continue to exercise my First Amendment rights, the CEO and editor-in-chief of the Tennessee Star declared on his X account. Tennessee Chancery Court Judge Ishmael Marlis had ordered Leary to court after his Star News Network had reported a portion of the so-called manifesto of Avery Elizabeth Hall, the transgender identified shooter who murdered 6 people at a Nashville Christian school. The Star reported that it obtained images of roughly 80 pages of the killer's journal that police found in her vehicle. The journal entries covered the weeks before she stormed into the convent school in late March of 2023 and fatally shot 3 9-year-olds and 3 adults. Mariners last week scheduled a show cause hearing to find out whether publishing portion of the killer's journal violated a order regarding Hale's documents and whether Leahy could face jail time. But the Star didn't publish or link to the documents. It reported on them. Appointment clear in Monday's hearing. Why does it sound like all of a sudden like a Trump case? Leary had said he would go to jail before revealing the source of the photocopied documents, which had been authenticated by the local police department. A judge doesn't have the right to force me to do something unconstitutional, he told free speech activist Michael Schellenberg in an interview about the First Amendment showdown. Usually you don't force a newspaper person to reveal their sources no matter what. And why this judge doing it is beyond me. We don't know if the judge doing this on their own, or some people have suggested that maybe some forces behind the scenes that we can't see has put their fingers on there and putting pressure on her for no good reason. So we don't know. There's a lot of reasons why we don't know what's going on with this situation, but they fear that something might leak out that's going to hurt the LGBTQ community. But to be honest with you, certain stuff shouldn't be given to everybody that's not capable of handling it, because some people can handle it pretty well, some people can't. And unfortunately, when you have those who can't, they end up doing stupid stuff like that. We don't emphasize that everybody who's trans is going to be doing something like this. No. But they're making it sound like it is. No, no, no. I mean, it's like if you think Biden's all of a sudden going to show up at a bank with a tummy submachine gun and start shooting the place up to get some $1 million out of the bank. No, that doesn't work that way. I mean, that guy is lucky to be able to lick ice cream. Well, the legal battle has granted international attention and solidarity for Leary and the star from the First Amendment expert. Should Leary and his publication be found in contempt, the CEO could be subject to sanctions, including jail time. Monday proceedings, the directions of which changed after Marlis denied the star's request to dismiss the showcase hearing had left Leary in a kind of a legal limbo. The Star argued that the show cause hearing violated Tennessee Shield law, protecting reporters from being compelled to reveal sources, and hinders the news outlets' due process rights. But the way the country is going right now, as you see what they're doing to Trump, the First Amendment is almost out the window, and they're doing other stuff they shouldn't be doing. Now it's spreading to other courts and in non-Trump cases. And that is the problem. Myers said that she merely wants to ascertain the status and veracity of any alleged leak of documents in the possession of this court and the police department. She wants to get the lay of the land before she rules on whether law enforcement officers are required by public record law to release the records. Most of the documents remain locked away in a Nashville Metro and FBI custody. Myers also has a copy of the records. Myers spared with the Leary's attorney, Daniel A. Horowitz, a national recognized First Amendment lawyer, noted that none of the lawsuit party maintained that Leary or his publication violated the contempt statute or violated the order of this court. It was determined based on what I had heard today and subsequent order whether or not there may be other proceedings, Myers told the attorney. And yeah, I am mispronouncing her name on purpose because I think she's full of crap. And so again, I understand your desire to educate the court on your client's position, but it's simply not ripe. Yes. You're understanding your desire to educate the court? What's this, an MC Hammer song? Deborah Fisher, executive director for the Tennessee Coalition for Open Government, said the judge called Leary to court to explain why he didn't violate the court order and then shut down his attorney when he tried to explain. Sounds like Trump case. Feels like she's making things up as she goes along, the First Amendment expert said. The good news is she did not put Michael Patrick Leary in jail. Leary and the Star News Digital Media, the Tennessee Star parent company, are plaintiffs in lawsuits demanding the Metro Nashville Police Department and the Federal Bureau of Investigation turn over Haiti manifesto, which included multiple journals and other documents. I previously served as a national political editor for the news organization, and I am also a plaintiff in the Freedom of Information Act lawsuit against the FBI. That's what the person said. The law enforcement agencies had argued that releasing Hale's writings would damage their ongoing investigation. Does it sound like Merrick Garland? But the transgender killer is only identified suspect in the case is dead. A recently obtained FBI memo to Metro Nashville Police Chief John Drake suggests what may have been long suspected. President Joe Biden identity politics. State Department of Justice is leading a cover-up of the deadliest transgender direct shooting in U.S. history. Let's repeat that again, because just to be sure. The person says a recent obtained FBI memo to Metro Nashville Police Chief John Drake suggests what may have been long suspected. President Joe Biden identity politics steep Department of Justice is leading up a cover-up of the deadly transgender-directed shooting in U.S. history. So what's happening with Trump right now is now spreading to other court cases around the country where they do not want their agenda to be screwed with. This is what's happening. So when Trump is saying all this stuff, that what they're doing to him with the gag orders and all that other stuff, all that stuff seems to be coming into this case right now. Public access to the legacy tokens, the journals, the videos, and other mass shooters' communications will also be facilitated false narratives and inaccurate information, the FBI claims, adding that making mass shooters manifesto public will lead to provocators and self-professed experts who will proffer their prospect in press, potentially inflaming the public. Why couldn't you just make it simple and say that you're afraid that there's going to be a backlash of some sort? It would be easier to put that in than the garbage you just made me read. The document published in the recent weeks painted a picture of a deeply disturbed 28-year-old woman who identified as a man, Hale apparently be immense in trans indoctrination, self-loathing, and rage. She says, I am no society. I hate society because society ignored to see me. Hale concludes one of 80 pages of writing the thing but the Tennessee Star. I am queer. I am meant to die, she wrote, and signed the entry Adrian. As the news outlet wrote, Haley dreamed of notoriety, the infamous kind, in an entry comparing her life to Paige Aronano Patton, a Nashville radio personality who attended middle school with Haley. The two played on the basketball team. She will live as a legend and will die as a shooter, hopefully to become infamous. No one will forget neither one of us, Haley wrote. She concluded that the entry by declaring Patton will be the blessing and that'll be the horror to inflict pain on the world. Haley also wrote about her imaginary private part, and she would kill to get her hands on puberty blockers less than 2 weeks before her deadly errand, the Star reported. Her make-believe Johnson exists in my head. I swear to God I am a male, the killer wrote in one of her many journals recovered by police. Tennessee lawmakers and First Amendment advocates had defended Leary in the Star, with one state representative calling the judge an activist judge. The Tennessee legislature will not stand for an activist judge who weaponized their courtroom. Leary, who is in the press and does not have to prove any courtroom that he's innocent, I will file the proper resolution to remove judges engaged in this abuse like this, wrote Representative Jerry Foshin, Republican for Cosby, wrote on X. Must be a county or city or something. Interestingly, the free press battle began when Nashville TV news reporter Stacey Cameron called the judge questioning or requesting a comment. He asked Myers to respond to the claims that the Star had alleged published leaked documents in violation of Myers' order. Isn't that something? Not a news organization ratted them out. That was stupid. However, Judge Myers was unaware of the supposed leak until WSM V4 investigation. Stacey Cameron called the court asking for a reaction to the leak, wanting to know if she was considering holding the Star or anyone in contempt. WSM V reported. Fisher from the Tennessee Coalition of Open Government said that the proceedings are strange and they're not over yet. Marlers could still appoint a special investigator to look into the alleged violations. You could find Leary in contempt, the star and CEO, which sued to bring to light the motives and the mindset of the Nashville deadliest shooter. Are now themselves target of legal proceeding. In this case, it seems like the process is the punishment, Fisher said. She wants justification for the contempt proceeding. She's still thinking about it. If the court speaks through its order, she's upset about the leak. Well, we still don't know a lot about the person involved in the shooting. We know that she was transitioning. She almost got caught once, but we don't know the story about behind that. She shot 6 people dead, 3 children, 3 adults. And then ever since this manifesto thing it's been like a hot potato. They try to keep it wraps, but the other people keep trying to take the aluminum foil off to see how the potato is. So that's a major problem. I'm surprised that another news organization ratted these folks out. That's not something you normally do. I mean, could you imagine Fox News ratting out CNN? Well, that's the situation now. It's happening in Nashville. And other people are wondering if this judge is doing this on their own or somebody is putting pressure on her. And if somebody is doing that, the state legislature is going to come after you, and it's not going to be very pretty. Because if somebody is doing that to that judge, you can be suspended, you can be jailed, and you lose your license to practice law if you're doing something like that to that judge. Now, the judge on her own, well, that's her problem. But like I said, if it's somebody pressuring her, then we got a problem. But again, this highlight another problem is a lot of the stuff that's happening with the Trump cases is now starting to filter in these cases, and it shouldn't be. They're trying to make sure that the press don't get their hands on this stuff for whatever reasons. They're afraid, if she writes out stuff about going after Christians, all hell is gonna break loose. And they write something about her transitioning might have led to this, all hell's gonna break loose. No matter what happens, all hell's gonna break loose. Now, if this would have been a normal white person that did this mass shooting, that manifesto would have been out already in the open. But being it was a person who was transitioning from one sex to another, all the rules goes out the window for some reason. I'm not for or against because I have a family member gay. I mean, I love Jazz Jennings and Blair White. They're transgender. A lot of people that I follow are transgender, so I'm not into the thing about bashing people who want to go from one sex to another, because unfortunately they tried everything and that's the only thing that seemed to work for them. But this is not for everybody, because sometimes when you transition, things don't always go right. So this is something that they should be seeking medical profession to go into so that everything would go right. So we don't know exactly what went wrong with this person, and we're just going to leave it at that. So this is Alcan saying so long for now, and don't forget to stop.